Another week, which means another great day of fights, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is the MMA Mark, and we are here for UFC Fight Night Vegas 105. Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. It's going to be incredible, and cannot wait to see this fight, man. It's always going to be good when Josh Emmett is in there, and Murphy, of course. His career has not been a miracle, as the nickname really says. It's been hard work and dedication as well. And Murphy is just trying to rise into the top. Emmett is trying to defend his spot. So, welcome once more. Predictions, picks, parlays, and maybe some slips that you might have to go for. This is the MMA Mark, and I am here with a very good friend of mine. Of course, you might remember him from the third episode of the Mitts Martial Marks podcast, and that is, of course, the UFC handicapper himself, really MMA handicapper, TMC MMA friend. It's good to see you back on the channel, man.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. Thank you again for having me on. Can't wait to talk these fights with you.
Absolutely, man. And we got a very good lineup of fights here, a lot of returning names, and a lot of people definitely fighting for their jobs here, obviously. Romulus really comes to mind, and Istela Nunes also comes to mind. But you can take a look at this card, man, and it's pretty packed for a fight night. It sucks that this is in the Apex. And brother, I think they need to get rid of the Apex sometime soon.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I don't know. It's some fights, man. I think, for example, the Torrez versus Dober fight last week. Fights like
Yeah,
that, you just can't have. You have to have a fight like that in the crowd. I think some fighters just perform better in front of a crowd than 50 people in an empty building. So I'm happy we have fights, but I definitely agree with you. They need to keep going around the U.S., around the country, and just keep touching these cities they haven't been to in a long time.
exactly. And I mean, obviously, the Apex was wonderful when COVID struck, but I mean, now, uh, a good bit of years later, it's pretty much over. And though I do like the quietness of it, it's just so much better with a crowd, man. But we got a very stacked lineup, top to bottom, with a lot of good names, short notice names as well, former champions in the regionals. And honestly, this is a very, very good card. What do you think about it, man?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. There's a lot of, I mean, obviously the main event's a big one, top contenders at featherweight, but there's a lot of good fighters on here, man. I'm a fan of Davy Grant's one of them. A
Yes,
lot of them, Torres, Finney, Joanderson, Brito. That's another one that I feel like if he could keep winning, he can find himself in the rankings by the end of the year.
exactly, man. And with a card like this, also comes some very sneaky picks. And me and you were talking about it before we actually recorded. But there are some very sneaky picks that some people might actually want to sprinkle a bit of money on, and they're hard working, paying money. It's um, it's just interesting, man. I cannot wait for it, and we're gonna go ahead and start right now with our first fight that will kick open the card. Strawweight bout. Both women trying to get back into the winning column. It's Vanessa Demopoulos taking on Talita Alencar. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name. I know she's Brazilian, 5-1 with one draw. And of course, Vanessa Demopoulos, we have seen time and time again in the UFC.
Yeah, man. So when we talk about hard earner money, I'm definitely gonna be one of those dudes that bets Vanessa Demopoulos tomorrow, and only because I feel like all of her fights are pretty close, and she's pretty competitive in most of them. And when it comes to the size difference, her and Alencar are pretty similar. I mean, actually, she's taller. This is the first time probably ever she's taller than her opponent, and the reach too. They're both pretty close. So I think in this fight, I'm gonna go Demopoulos just keeping the fight closer. These are two primarily grapplers, so I think we're gonna see a lot of just striking on the feet, maybe some crazy scrambles. But I can see Demopoulos probably winning like a 29-20 decision, maybe.
Possibly. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but I do agree with you. I do have Demopoulos by decision. Um, I don't think she's had a finish in the UFC in quite some time, and if not, then never. But I mean, you could see it here just on the stats. She's been to a decision almost every single fight, except for the Suarez fight where she was knocked down and then she just came back and got that awesome submission. And I do actually miss Suarez as well, one of the hardest hidden strawweights that I've seen. But I mean, you could just take a look at it. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, of course, Ducote, Emily Ducote, and she's always been to a decision for quite some time. And that Suarez fight was back in 2022, so it's been 3 years since she's actually gotten the finish. And I'm pretty comfortable with saying that this fight is not going to be a finish as well. I also have Vanessa Demopoulos by decision.
Yeah, for sure. And even if you look at those fights, I think the Cody fight, sorry, and the Murata fight, those are two fights a lot of people think she lost, and
Right.
somehow the judges gave it to her. So I think just looking at that and just looking at this fight, you can definitely see a way this fight is pretty close, and split decision. I gotta go with Vanessa in that one.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree with you, brother. And of course, the money line is very close for this fight. Vanessa is a -108 favorite. It's almost pretty much a pick 'em. Barely just missing that mark. And if we actually go on DraftKings here, you can actually see that Vanessa, with her probably the most obvious Vanessa win would be by decision. That is a +130 right now. And the same thing with her opponent, Talita. Um, and as you can see, I mean, the odd makers are not confident about giving them any kind of room to breathe or any kind of finish.
Yep.
Um, but I think that's very, very obvious indeed. And even though Talita is of course, the grappler herself, and Vanessa has gotten tapped out in her last fight. It was a little bit controversial, and at the same time, it was still Demopoulos' fault, but it was a little bit controversial. But hey,
Yeah,
protect
that was
yourself at all times.
yeah, that was the whole hand in the glove, and she was trying to basically protested mid fight and
Yep, you can't do that.
basically just yeah, you just can't do that.
Yep. But yeah, we both agree on Vanessa Demopoulos, and I believe we will agree also with this heavyweight clash, Martin Buday and the debuting regional champion. I forgot which belt that was, but Uran. God, this is going to be horrible. Sati Balayev.
Hey
I
man, I
hope I'm
take
saying
it.
that right.
I take that one.
Yep, as you can see, he has no height. He ain't got no weight, no reach, no legs. This is a
Yeah,
nugget
so
that
he
we're dealing with right here.
yeah, so on Tapology he's listed at 6'4", 222.
Yeah.
That that's what they have him listed as. So
Yep, and you got to wonder
man,
here. I mean, he will probably always be on weight. I mean, 265 is the weight limit right there, and I'm sure he's not gonna blow it up absolutely to like 275, 285, something crazy like that. But this is still short notice, and Martin Buday, his only loss in the UFC has actually been to Shamil Gaziev, which Shamil that has went pretty well so far, and I think Shamil probably beats a good bit of heavyweight ranked competitors right now. And I mean, Budai's last fight, I believe that was against Andrei Arlovsky, pretty much cut Arlovsky's winning ways to end off his UFC career. What are you thinking about this fight, man?
yeah, so to be honest, I've been trying to look more at this Uran guy. He was an LFA champ.
Yeah,
He looks like his resume been he's been running through dudes pretty good, but I mean, you pointed out the big thing is the size discrepancy here. I mean, Buday is probably cutting down to 265. The dude can probably weigh in at heavyweight 365 days a year. So
yep.
I think Buday's game plan to every fight is pretty similar though. He might jab you a little bit, not a lot of volume, but he's gonna try to lean against you on the fence a lot and just wear on you and lay that 265 pounds onto you and just
Yes.
yeah just pick away at you every round. So it's gonna be a tough one just because I don't know. It's just a little question, Uran coming on really short notice. How in shape was he? Was he is he in shape to go a good 3 rounds? And I see a lot of people picking him to win the fight, and I think I am too, just because I'm not the biggest Martin Buday fan.
Right.
I can see his path though. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I could understand why people are picking him due to the fact that Buday didn't really look impressive in his last fight. And what a lot of people were thinking that Arlovsky was supposed to get steamrolled by
Yeah,
Martin Buday, who is much more younger, I believe, taller, has a better reach, uh, was on a pretty good roll, except for the Shamil Gazib fight. And, I think even Martin Buday was very surprised that he got that decision. So I wouldn't be surprised if Iran actually wins this fight. But what worries me about it is it's short notice. And
yeah,
obviously, a lot of people on short notice don't really get that win. And there's been a few selections, a few people who have here in 2025. That one Russian guy who beat Zachary Rhys really comes to mind for me.
yeah.
Um, but overall, I'm I think I'm really comfortable just saying Martin Buday by decision. And um, okay, DraftKings, I guess you mixed this up a little bit, but I do not know where the odds are for that. Um, but overall, I think I am gonna stay comfortable with this one, and I'm just gonna say the obvious Martin Buday, possibly by decision pick.
Hey, and that's a good pick as well. Like you said, short notice. We've seen it before, but it's rare. I mean, to come in on a few days' notice and just,
Yeah.
especially against a bigger opponent like this, it's a tough challenge. So I will probably I could go Budai by tomorrow, but it's a tough fight to call for sure. If I'm gonna go Budai, I will go decision. I don't see him finishing this guy, but it's gonna be a good fight, I think.
It'll definitely be interesting, and if Iran can beat someone like Martin Buday off the couch, pretty much,
Yeah,
it would definitely skyrocket his career. And knowing the state of heavyweight right now, only having like 30 guys, he might already get like a ranked opponent if he beats Buday, who is also number 15 in the world. So
man, I was gonna say that too. I was looking. Budai's ranked number 31. I'm pretty sure. So this dude, he gets 2-3 wins at heavyweight. We could be talking about him being a top 10 guy. So
yeah, and that's the thing, man. Heavyweight before, just in the 2000s era. I mean, you had so many great names, and then in the 2010s, it was the absolute prime of heavyweight. And now, I mean, when you look at this, I mean, obviously, you got the top five guys who probably smoke almost everybody else. So, I mean,
yeah,
you got you got Jones, obviously, even though he's very inactive. I think we're gonna lose him soon. He's gonna drop the belt. But obviously, you got Aspinall, you got Spivak, or not Spivak, but I mean, he's good too. But I mean, you got
yeah.
Pavlovich, you got Jailton Almeida, who I think will be champion. You got Volkov, you got Gon. It's it's just a wide open division right now, and they need to sign more heavyweights, man. I would absolutely love to see Vadim Nemkov both at heavyweight and light heavyweight.
Bro, that's a great look. And even if you just look at, like you just said, look at the heavyweight rankings. We've
Yeah.
been looking at Kennedy and Joku. He's been a light heavyweight most of his career. He came to heavyweight, I think, last year, and he's already a top 15 heavyweight.
Yeah, man, and Chukwu he's awesome. I think he was supposed to fight this week as well.
Yes, he was supposed to fight Budai, and then
Yeah.
something came up. I'm not sure if it was injury or weight cut related, but yeah, it's crazy. Like to share Mick Parkin, these are a lot of top 15 guys. So yeah, if this dude steamrolls Budai, then we might see him in the rankings next Tuesday.
Absolutely. Next fight here, we go from the big boys to the little boys. Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. The Brazilian, of course, 16-4. I believe he's I don't think he's making his UFC debut because I remember him against Hugo. And
Yes.
Victor Henry, who of course has he's fought great names. He's fought Basharat. He has I believe he actually fought Pedro Munoz before. I know he fought Ronnie. Um, he's been in the UFC now for 5 fights. This is his sixth appearance, and honestly, he's the comfortable favorite, and I think it's going to be another comfortable decision for him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you just look at the comparisons of their resumes, I mean, Victor Henry came in, fought Ronnie Barcelos. I'm pretty sure that one was on short notice, and he beat Barcelos, which
Yeah.
I remember that because I bet Barcelos against Henry. He just shocked me. Next fight, also against Sun Sao, beat Gravely. The no contest against Basharat,
Yep.
beat Ronnie Yaya, then Jorday. He
Yep.
lost to Jorday by steps. Sorry. Yeah, this guy, he's a Josh Barnett guy. You can always hear him in the corner and see him, and he's really good. I mean, I'm a big fan of Victor Henry, and this his opponent Falcao. This is his second fight in the UFC. Like you say, he fought Victor Hugo.
Yep.
Seems more of his strength is more grappling. His striking's not bad, but you can tell he loves grappling. So I think Victor Henry, if he could just uh if the fight does hit the ground, just not panic as much, and he's not lost on the ground as well. So I think if you just keep the fight on the feet, pick a way at him, he can win a nice decision for sure.
Absolutely, man. And obviously Victor Henry, he's a pretty good finisher as well. But I'm just not too confident on it because I mean Ronnie Yaya, he just seems like he gets finished by a lot of people, obviously. And it's not bad because I mean Victor Henry is very well balanced. He has many knockouts, many submissions, and obviously
Yeah.
decisions. He's got 9 decision victories, but right now that's actually the most comfortable play. It's a minus 135 into the good for him to win by decision. And on the other side for that, Pedro to win by decision is actually a plus 450. So if you are going for Pedro, that might be the way to do it right there. But Victor Henry, as you could see, plus 1,000 on submission. They're not confident on submission. And KO, TKO, he's got a few of them, plus 750.
Yeah, and even earlier we talked parlays a lot too, and I'm one of those guys I don't really like parlaying minus 700s, 800s, but a guy like Henry that's in the 200s and somebody you may be able to add in you feel comfortable about, like you said.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight nonetheless. I think Victor just has that speed advantage over Pedro, and he's really going to show the volume and the activity in this fight. And I think he will mix it up as well. It's going to be interesting to see this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be real technical. I think Victor Henry's gonna end up coming out with the decision.
Absolutely. We go back into the women right here. Another strawweight bout, and guess who is back? Back again, Loma Lookboonmee. She's been gone for quite some time, and she is the absolute heavy favorite. She's got very crisp striking, brother. And Istela Nunes, who is obviously fighting for her contract right here, and even then, with a win, it it might be a Mike Breeden situation where he does not get signed. So I'm wondering how you feel about this fight, and do you think the odds are right for this fight, even though Loma has been gone for a little bit now?
Yeah, man, I think they're fair only because Loma's just, in my opinion, she's better everywhere technically. And when she does fight, I mean, she shows up. Like even her losses, she lost to Lupi Godinez. She didn't look terrible. Her striking's pretty good. I'm not sure if she's still in Thailand or not, but you can see she has like that real Thai style where she comes through with her kicks, her combinations come together really nice. And Nunes, on the other hand, I mean, The arm break was tough. She hasn't won a UFC fight ever, and her last win came in 2018. So
Yeah, and
I
that
think,
was the one that gave her the call into the UFC anyhow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think like you said, like fight for your job. So there is that side. If you're gambling, you could say, "Oh yeah, she's fighting for her job." But I mean, if I'm Loma, I know there's a tough first round. Then after that, then N- Nunes is definitely going to she's going to tire, and I think Loma could take over 2-3 and maybe get a late finish if she just puts it on her, maybe some body shots and heavy kicks.
I agree with you, and we were talking about it before we recorded, but she has been finished almost every single time. 3 of her 4 wins, and the only time she has not been finished was against Sam Hughes, and Sam Hughes usually takes Fangs to a decision. Um, but I mean, right here, Carnelossi, who is not really a standout strawweight. That was in 2021, and beat her by the submission, beat Nunes by submission. Then you got Jasmine, of course, who got the finish against her, and Dudakova, of course, that nasty arm break. But I feel like that was probably going to be a decision victory for Dudakova if that didn't happen. But with Loma, man, I mean, she has outstruck a lot of good, sharp strikers before. Of course, Bruna Brazil. That really comes to mind. And of course, Denise Gomes right here, who has very good power. I believe we just saw her against Angela Hill. Arguably won that fight against Angela Hill, even though I was happy she didn't because I picked Angela Hill.
Yeah,
But I think Loma, I mean, it might be a tough first round, like you said, because I mean she's been gone. She's got to warm up again. Um, but Nunes at the same time, she's got the hide and reach advantage all over the place, and she's still pretty sharp, I guess. But I actually have Loma by some sort of finish, and I wouldn't be mad to do a submission. I mean, submission is her second shortest one, and that's a plus free 30 right here, as you can see. And I mean, putting $10 on that, you can get 40 free bucks. Um, and I really don't think that's bad at all. And you can see for the odds for Istela is just absolutely outrageous right here, man. I mean, if she actually pulled out like a Hail Mary Juliana Pena submission right here, $10, 400. It's fucking incredible.
man, it's crazy. And yeah, I'm not mad at Loma by sub either, just because we see a lot of fights where s- the fighter gets tired later on. They maybe panic wrestle or they just put themselves in a bad spot, and they may put themselves in a maybe the other fighter's mount or just bad positions. And Loma could definitely take over and get maybe a rear naked choker, some sort of submission. So I'm not mad at that prop at all.
Yeah, and obviously for anybody watching, if you're not very confident on Loma just by submission, I would say your next best thing is to just literally go by Loma by finish. And I mean, that is
Yeah,
still on the underdog side. That is a plus 190. $10 for that. I mean, you can get 29 bucks, 15, 40 free. Um, it wouldn't be bad to put on a parlay at all. So you might want to go ahead and think about that as well. But it's just very interesting. And Loma, obviously, minus 750 favorite, one of the highest favorites on the card. I think second highest for this entire card. So I think we're pretty
yeah,
confident on Loma getting some kind of finish here.
yeah. It's crazy. And then one more thing there. So from the betting side, for sure, I feel like with heavy favorites like this, a lot of books offer like double chance, so you can bet the fighter will win by decision or KO, or maybe decision by or submission.
Right.
So I think that's also might be a good look too if you can't decide if Loma's gonna take it to 15-minute decision or if she might win in submission. Then you might want to go double chance bet and bet that as well.
It'll definitely be interesting to see. And, for Estela Nunes, I mean, anything is possible in MMA. I mean, you can't doubt her one bit, but it just seems like she's got nothing going on for her right here. And I hate seeing that too because I've seen Istela Nunes a bit, and she seems fun. She seems okay. Um, but you got to get into the winning column, obviously, if you want to keep this job. And even then, like I said, might be a Mike Breeden situation. So it'll be interesting to
Definitely.
see this fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Welterweight, of course, the former Cage Warriors champion, Rhys McKee, who we have seen in many stances. I believe he fought Liam Gambula before. He even fought Hamzat Chimaev before, I think, in his debut, which is kind of horrible to go up against. But he takes on Daniel Frunza, who is slight favorite in this fight. I believe only one of his fights have been by decision, and I think by finish it's still on the plus side. But Rhys McKee is very experienced, and he's got dangerous power as well. He's just been out grappled. TMC, what do you think about this, man?
Yeah, so Reese McKee's another one of these guys. So you see a lot of guys like, for example, Vince Morales. We saw him fight, but
Yeah,
they join the UFC. They may get cut. They grind on the in different
regionals.
promotions, and
Yeah,
they come back. Yeah, in the regionals, and they come back and I don't. So Reese McKee's his resume. I mean, Chidi, he took Chidi to a split, and we've seen what Chidi's been capable of at 170. The Lusa fight, that's also a tough opponent. And like you
yeah. It
said,
was
even before that,
Lusa. It was Lusa. It wasn't Liam
yeah,
Gamboa. It was Lusa. That's on me.
yeah, no problem. That was another fight where it's like, I mean, and Lusa also he's not an easy opponent. In his first stint, Alex Morono at his best a tough opponent as well. With Hamzat, we all know what Hamzat is. I'm not gonna waste much
Yeah.
time with that, but yeah, so it's one of those things where people like you look at it like oh from the UFC, but it. I mean, I want to make a case from like this. I don't want to say easiest fight, but this is probably one of his best matchups. This Frunza guy, he's not a walk in the park, but he's also one of these guys coming off contender series, and we see a lot of these guys first fight in the UFC. I mean, it's different. It's a different level. So I'm tempted to bet Reese McKee money line just because I think he has a good chance of winning this fight.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you here, man. I mean, he's obviously the underdog for good reason.
Yeah,
But I mean, this is probably one of his best fights that you can make. Lusa is a very good grappler. Hamzat, obviously. And Morono, this was 2020 Morono. This was the best Morono
yeah,
that we've seen in a long time. Um, and with Chidi Bang Bang, of course, that obviously stays on the feet. And he actually took that into a split. He had some good success. So I do agree. This has a pretty good. This is a pretty good matchup for him. And with Frunza, obviously, he's this debuting guy from Romania. Um, and you also just have to really think about the fact that most of his fights have been by knockout. He only has one decision ever, and I think that was actually in the Contender Series. Um, and I believe I was looking at Tapology a little bit. That was actually a fight he lost. So it might be interesting to see. But as you can see right here, Rhys McKee the win by knockout, submission, or DQ. That's at the plus 250 side. Um, I'm honestly confident though in McKee probably getting a decision. I don't know if he can get the knockout in this fight. It might be interesting to see. Frunza, however, with obviously like 95% finish rate or something, it's actually on the yes side. It's on the underdog side to get a finish plus 145, and that's just to win by a finish. If we actually go over here to just the method of victory itself, um, Rhys McKee, as you can see, to win by decision, that's a plus 380, which is still really good for him. That's solid.
yeah,
Frunza to win by decision, is 290, and even just to win by a finish, obviously that's a plus 160. Now with Rhys McKee, I don't know if he wins this. It's just tough for me to put it on him because I'm only going by his winning ways in Cage Warriors, and I mean even then he had a very tough time. And
Mm.
he is a dog. I will admit he is a dog. I do feel like his best chance of winning is by decision. Um, and obviously that is a plus 380, and we have not seen that too much from Daniel Frunza. So honestly, this might be a dog to really play for.
Yeah, man, I agree. This is one of the situations where I could be wrong, but how many times do we see guys coming off the contender series? They just their first fight, they just don't look good. Maybe the second fight, they look way better, but the first fight, they step in the cage and it's not what people expect. They just don't. I mean, we're gonna talk about Robel.
The
Sorry,
Spain, Rebellis to Spain.
yeah, I was gonna say the Spain. Sorry, but
Yes, it's all
I,
good.
yeah, I meant to say Cortavious. So we
Ah,
saw Cortavious come on. Yeah, his first fight against Bolanos. I'm sure we'll talk about that more. But yeah, I think this could be one of those fights where McKee knows, okay, I'm 0-4. I might need to have a really good performance just for him to think about maybe just bringing me back. So yeah, I haven't picked the underdog yet. I don't think, or I picked the Mopolis, but I was slight. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go
yeah.
with Rhys McKee.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, he's fighting for his contract once again. Um, because I mean, they're definitely not going to keep him if he loses this. He would be extremely lucky. It'd probably have to be like take this fight on short notice if you want to stay here. Um, so it, I think we're going to see a very desperate Rhys McKee. Um, I think he's going to just put it on, and I think he's just going to show the toughness and the grit. And
Yep.
I was going to go with Frunza, but I think I'm actually going to go with Rhys McKee by decision, and that is obviously 380. Probably wouldn't even be bad to put on the slip, but
There we go.
who knows?
Hey man, there we go. Hey, all I'm saying is how many times we see guys get cut twice and get brought back. I don't think it really happens. So there's definitely some
Yeah,
motivation for tomorrow.
we'll just have to see. Back into the women's side, and look at these motherfucking odds right here. We were talking about it. Dione Barbosa minus 1,000 favorite. Diana Belbita is a plus 650 underdog. And man, in a way, I understand, right? Because if you're losing to Molly McCann by submission, that is probably something that you need to work on absolutely. And Barbosa, she loves her submissions. Um, but at the same time, a one-in-one fighter who is just coming off a loss, wasn't even close against Miranda Maverick, um, as a minus 1,000 favorite, I just don't know.
So the odds, so definitely right because I feel like if this fight was like a minus 250 and a plus 200, we're just all over Barbosa, right? But the
Yeah,
minus 1,000 is like, okay, so this is just way too much because
it's
now it's like we
ridiculous
don't,
to put any
yeah,
play on.
yeah, we don't want to parlay it. We can't single bet it because it won't get us anything. So we look at passive victory, right? So Barbosa is on the ground, like we said. You get subbed by Molly McCann. You're probably not that good on the ground.
Yeah,
It's that's just what it is. I mean, we just saw Molly McCann get manhandles for the 50th time. So
yeah.
I think Barbosa's path to victory is pretty clear. I mean, she's in really good shape. I think she trains out in Vegas, so she's in the Performance Institute a lot. She's getting good rounds out there, and I think like the game plan is set. You go out there, you throw your combinations, you mix in the takedowns with your striking, and you just find a sub somewhere in the fight because Belbita, she isn't a terrible striker, but she's long, so she's gonna leave herself out there and to get taken down and eventually get finished. I think.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know what? I'm going balls to the walls with this pick, but I think Diana Belbita. I'm just gonna go ahead and say decision. I mean, even just a
Oh wow.
decision by
Yeah.
itself is a plus 1,000, which
Yeah.
is still insane. And this is women's MMA that we're talking about. So, it's just really interesting to play. I think Diana Belbita striking is really going to show in this fight. I do feel like she will. I think she might defend a few takedowns. She might get taken down a little bit, but overall, I mean, I'm still very I'm high on Diana Belbita in a way. And I mean, I've seen her a few times, I believe. But I mean, yeah, at the same time, it's not a good it's not good for me to try and go for this. I know it's not. I don't even know if I'd put money on it. I don't think I'd put it on a parlay. Maybe if it was me, I'd do a single. But at the same time, I'm not the best when it comes to betting and stuff. But if you are going for Diana Belbita, I don't see a submission. But in case you decide to go for an outrageous decision like Manny Betts did, I mean, just putting $1 on it is $41. You do 10, that's just $400. 100 is 4,000. And I mean, just doing 15 itself,
Yeah.
$615 that you could probably win. And that's awesome. That really is awesome. But Diana's best chance of winning this fight, I believe, will be by decision, and that's a plus 1,000. You can do whatever you want with that. Um, but I do feel like, yeah, Barbosa probably wins, but I mean, I'm stupid enough to go with Belbita in this fight.
Yeah, but you even brought it up, man. It's one of those fights, right, where not even you could put $5 on Belbita by decision, just sit back. It could be one of those fights where Barbosa has success early, takes her down, maybe gets some top control. Okay,
Yeah.
she wins round one. Belbita stuffs a couple takedowns, outstrikes her, just lands the better strikes round two. We might see a 1-1 round, and now you have a plus 1,000 ticket. Going to round three, you're feeling pretty good about that. So I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's just with me, I can never be confident with women's MMA ever again, really. Um, that's just how it is. I'm never confident with women's MMA, so really do have to think about that. And I do think Diana is also fighting for her contract here. So she will be desperate in this fight, and it's just going to be interesting to see. Can't wait for that fight. It'll be intriguing.
Definitely.
And that is the prelims right there. We go into the main card, and it's a very stacked main card, man. I absolutely love it. We start with your boy Torrez Finney taking on Robert Valentin or Valentine, honestly. It's an interesting fight right here. A lot of people are calling this guy the Swiss Yuri Prohaska, which I mean I haven't seen too much. I only saw the fight where he lost the Ultimate Fighter finale, and we were talking about that earlier. But Torres Finney, he's been on a roll. Free Dana White Contender Series appearances. Free Dana White Contender Series wins. He finally makes his debut, man.
Yeah, man. So I feel like if you watched Tough Throughout, and you saw this Robert Valentin guy, I'm one of those people that thought, okay, yeah, this dude's gonna be probably like a middleweight Yuri. Like he gives that he gives that energy of just a crazy assassin type where I hit you, you go down, and just a straight killer. But that Ryan Loder fight, I think threw a lot of people off just because I mean he was favored and a lot of people had him winning. So towards Finney on the other hand, obviously small middleweight, but the dude has heart. He's gritty and he's a tough dude, and I can see him taking Valentin down and just and punishing him. And I think Finney can get the finish this fight, whether it's maybe ground and pound or maybe find a sub on the ground.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And I mean, if you look at it right here, I mean, Finney is a plus on any uh, finish or decision. And if we go, I think it's actually a little bit different if just to win by finish right here. Let me see. That's Torrez Finney. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people right here. This would not be too good to really bet on, in my opinion. But at the same time,
Yeah.
maybe. Um,
Maybe
I mean,
a Finney by inside the distance, maybe.
yeah. Let me see here. I
I'm
don't
not sure
know.
the number. It might be maybe like a minus 130 number, but that's also maybe a good look.
We'll just have to see, man. But if it was me, I am actually going to pick Finney for this fight. And let me see here. Where are you, brother? Because I'm a little bit blind. There we go. Uh, Torrez Finney and Robert. Um, I mean, all of these options right here are just underdog picks. They're plus.
Yep.
Um, and it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think Finney gets a submission. And damn, you know what? This might actually be like with the new UFC gloves again. I'm going with another decision.
Oh wow.
like I think I'm going with another decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Finney actually got it done inside the distance. If he takes Robert down, I mean that's pretty good too. Robert still has a good chance. I don't think the odds should be like this. I feel like it should be a little bit closer. A lot of people are just looking at Robert's last fight and Torres' last fight. That was against a short notice replacement. Um, so you honestly might have to think about that.
Yeah, man, I agree. And again, another fighter that's making his UFC debut. I mean, this could be one of those things where he shows out in his debut. Where I think he will. I think he put in the work, works really hard, and could just get the finish he's been looking for. But this could be a closer fight that a lot of people see, and him being towards a minus 300. It's tough. I mean, you could parlay him, but I I think it could go a lot of different ways, but leaning towards the props, I'm gonna go maybe Finney by round two, round three KO. I think that'd be a good look.
Possibly, man. I do have Finney for this fight still against Robert, but I mean, when you have that much height and that much reach, and
So
we saw Torres's second appearance, I believe, on Dana White's Contender Series, which I mean, the second and the third was like just like a few weeks off, I think. Um, I mean, his striking did not really look that good, and Robert definitely specializes in that striking. So it's a tough fight to really go for. It's definitely not a pick 'em. I'd say Torres slight favorite against
yeah,
Robert. I don't think he should be a heavy favorite, but it's a great fight, and I am going with Torres Finney in this fight.
for sure. And I think, like you said, if this was maybe like a minus 120 plus 110 fight for Torrance Finney, we might be like, okay, Torrance Finney money line, but him being a minus 300 with this height difference, I mean,
Yes.
it's tough. 5'8" at middleweight, and the websites, the tabologies maybe add an inch or two, so he could be 5'6", 5'7", maybe. So being at at middleweight against a 6'2" striker like Valentin, it could definitely pose some problems.
It'll definitely be interesting, but we're just going to have to see if we can smell what Torres is cooking, man. We'll just have to see.
Man, hopefully.
This fight right here is actually interesting. I'm very intrigued by this fight right here. So, Louis Gurule is on Tapology right now, the number one pro flyweight in the world right now. He takes on O'Day Osbourne, who has seen very good fighters a lot, and I like this fight. I really do like this fight. Lewis is actually the, I would say, mid heavy favorite in this fight. Uh, and I mean, no doubt. I mean, number one flyweight in the on Tapology right now. I mean, a lot of people got some good potential for this guy, and they're seeing a lot from him already. Great finisher, but O'Day Osbourne with the experience, the hand speed, the power, the lankiness, and a 9-inch reach advantage. as the
Wow,
underdog, brother. I think this might
crazy.
be an underdog pick. This might be a dog.
Okay, so for one, that reaches range is just that's wild.
Yeah.
You just brought up. That's wild. So this dude, Gurule, so he's training out in college. So he's training with Roy Val and Hernandez. I'm pretty sure because they expanded. They have their own little team now, and he's a part of it. And he's not bad. I mean, looking at his last fight, the dude showed up. I mean, I picked against him when he beat Piccanini in the split decision because I thought Nick was definitely the better wrestler. He's gonna take him down and just dominate in his second outing, and he spoiled that party. And Ode, on the other hand, I mean, he's 1-4 in it. I mean, 1-3 in his last four.
Yeah.
So it's tough when coming. He's on a 3-fight losing streak currently. So another one of these guys you might not know because he's an exciting flyweight, but he could be fighting for his job if he loses this fight. But just looking at the guys he's fought Manel Cap, TJ Vergara. Recently, he's fought Asu Amabayev, who just main evented against Cap. Jafel Fijo, who's a pretty legit grappler. And last time against Rodriguez, I mean, that's not aging well right now, but still some time. I mean, it's a tough fight. I feel like Osbourne shows glimpse of really of a lot of talent, but it's one of those fights he could get clipped. Gurule's he's a dangerous fighter, so I'm leaning Gurule. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna go decision or if he finds a finish. I can see a KO as well, but yeah, I'm gonna lean Gurule.
And yeah, honestly, that's a good pick. It's a very comfortable pick. Uh I might have to go balls to the wall again, honestly, brother. I think O'Day Osborne will get the win, and I hate that I keep saying decision. So I'm just gonna
Oh,
go ahead and say his at his best, his specialty. I'm gonna go ahead and say knockout. Um, but obviously that's just due to the fact that I don't know almost anything about Gurule. I don't know if he will grapple, and I feel like if he does grapple, that will be a big. It will even be a better fight for Louis Gurule and a much more harder fight for O'Day Osborne. O'Day, I feel like he's got the hands, honestly, but I mean, he keeps getting put up against these very good grapplers. Of course, Asu Amabayev and Jafel Filo as well. Even then, with Ronaldo Rodriguez, he cracked Ronaldo bad in
bad.
that fight. And, then he just said, you know what, let me just get out grappled for the rest of the fucking fight. So, you know what, this might be a hit or miss, but I'm going to go ahead and say O'Day Osborne by knockout, and that is a 500 right now. I think the experience will play. The reach is going to be a good advantage, and obviously, like I said, I don't know nothing about Gurule, but he is. I think he has more pressure right now, knowing that this is his debut. Osborne has been under the lights, and I mean it's still the Apex, so he's going to be very comfortable. This is the highest competition possible, and I think O'Day Osborne is just really going to show that.
Yeah, I think that's a great take by you too because we see Ode at his best. Footwork is really good. Striking is on point. Like you said, he really hurt Rodriguez before he got out grappled later on. But Ode at his best, I mean, he competes with the best of them. Like we see, like I rate Charles Johnson really high, and he competed really well in that fight. So
Yes.
depending on how Gurul prepared for his debut, I can see this being a really close fight. And you picking Ode, would you say decision?
I'm going to say knockout. I'm going to say finish,
Okay,
brother.
okay, knockout. That's a good look as well. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good possibility that can happen for sure.
Now, I want to go ahead and say this. If I did do a parlay for O'Day Osborne, it
Yep.
would not just be specifically knockout or submission. It would have to be just by finish in general. And that is still really good. That's a plus 450. So I mean,
Yeah, that's really good.
the knockout just by itself is like 500. So I mean, this is still pretty good, and I mean, you got more room to really breathe, and it's only 50 off. It's still 450, which is really good. and you can get paid a good bit of money. So I mean, you got to look at that, man. And what the fuck did I just see right here? Oh, okay, yeah, Diana Belbita. The okay, yeah,
Yeah, probably not happening.
yeah. I just saw that. I was like, oh yeah, minus 2,000. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
just to
know
add
who
to your
would go for
point
that.
too. Yeah, I mean, it's a flyweight fight, right? So if you're gonna take Ode, there's a pretty good chance he could get the finish just the way flyweight fights go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. I do have Ode Osbourne by finish. I don't have nothing specific, but when Verdict, I gotta see what Verdict MMA is cooking up, man. I mean, I bet submission it's higher than knockout, but yeah, I think I might actually I might actually have to check that real quick, man. But it's gonna be interesting with Ode Osbourne and Louis Gurule. Let me see here. That's wow, they still got Kennedy on on there for some reason. I don't know why. Um, okay, let me see. Ode Osbourne, make picks. Yeah, submission is like 41.92 right now, bro. Like that
Oh yes, yep.
that's bad. That's bad as hell. So it'll be interesting to see. But speaking of submissions, Brad Tavares, Gerald Meerschaert, who has the most finishes in the middleweight history, slight underdog in this fight against Brad Tavares. I think these are very good odds. I think this right here is pretty fair.
Yeah, man. So it's tough, right? Because it's a Meerschaert fight. So I feel like you can't talk about a Gerald Meerschaert fight without talking about submissions. Because I mean, that's what he does, right? His striking isn't crazy. He's gonna throw probably one shot at a time, maybe a body kick, a jab, and then I mean, he's gonna go for the game plan. He's gonna try to take you down and do his work from there. And it's a tough fight to call for me because Tavares, depending on which one shows up, he might run through. GM3 is gonna make this fight really closer than it needs to be. And what is Tavares currently minus 200? I think at some books, but both guys are really similar in age. They're both 37, 6'1". Tavares has, or actually Meerschaert has the slight reach advantage. So I can see Tavares outstriking Meerschaert if he just stuffs the takedowns, but part of me wants to lean Meerschaert. If I'm gonna take him, probably by sub, just because that's his main way of victory, his
Yeah.
path. So yeah, I'm still deciding. This is a tough fight for me to call, just because I'm sure like you can see it a lot of different ways. So right now I'm going to Meerschaert sub.
Yeah, and honestly, brother, I have the exact same mindset for this fight, and I got it the exact same way. I think Meerschaert probably gets a submission, and it's really just going to come down to if he can take him down. Because I mean, there's a difference between Park takedowns and Chris Weidman takedowns, and there's also a big difference in Meerschaert takedowns, right? Um,
Exactly.
and I don't think Meerschaert just surprisingly outstrikes a huge, powerful striker like he did before against Bruno Silva. Um, it's going to be very interesting to see this fight. I'm excited for it, honestly. I do have Gerald Meerschaert by submission, and Brad Tavares, of course, he's very good. Um, and if he keeps this standing, he will absolutely win this fight, I believe, against Gerald Meerschaert. Um, and I think another thing about it is maybe he was subbed on the regionals, but I don't think this guy has ever been submitted before in his career. So if Gerald Meerschaert can pull that off, oh wow, Phil Baroni. If he can pull that off, that would be pretty insane. And I mean, Gerald Meerschaert is always the guy to surprise people, and you know, it is absolutely his best way of winning this fight. Um, so I mean, I don't think I'd ever put KO or TKO, but I mean, plus 400 on the submission. That is still really good for Gerald Meerschaert.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're talking about plus 400 for probably the most likely way for him to win the fight because obviously he could win a decision, but I mean, I just don't see it. I think if it goes to decision, I could see Tavares just
Yeah,
winning it, just off landing the better strikes. But I mean, for the people that want to back Tavares, I mean, his coach Eric Nixick, I rate him really high. He's one of my favorite coaches to listen to. He actually cornered, I believe, Emmett Shabazian
Sabazian.
when he
Yeah,
fought. Yeah, Shabazian. Yep. Thank you. When he fought Meerschaert, and Shabazian looked really good until he got taken down and obviously submitted. So I think that's another good thing to think about too. If people are thinking about taking Tavares in this fight.
it'll definitely be interesting to see. It's a 50-50 fight in my opinion, man. I mean, it just really determines. Gerald Meerschaert doesn't really have the strongest takedowns. He does have a good clinch, I'll give him that. But Tavares is very, very strong, even now. Um,
Yeah.
but it's interesting to see both guys are in a they're pretty they're in a backed up corner with each other right now when it comes to their careers. They're both kind of on a little losing streak, like a two fight losing streak right now. I don't think anyone gets cut here, but I mean that's just pretty interesting to point it out. And I mean, look at this right here. You know, the takedown defense of Tavares has always been there. 80% takedown defense in the UFC. So it'll be interesting, but we're gonna go with the dog, man. I mean, Gerald Meerschaert.
Man, it's crazy too because the only thing that makes me want to lean Tavares because the thing about Meerschaert is, like you said, Tavares is really strong. His takedowns aren't that good. I can see him pulling guard a lot in this fight if it doesn't go his way. Just because on the feet, Tavares might pick him apart and he could just start pulling guard. So it's a tough fight.
Cannot wait for it. Featured fight. I really feel like Tavares and Meerschaert should have gotten this, but featured fight. The heavy Cortavious Romulus taking on Changho Lee. We know Cortavious missed weight by a good bit today for the weigh-ins, and you know he's in a pretty backed up corner now already, man. If he gets absolutely dog walked in this fight, I think he might already get cut with two fights. I mean, he lost his last fight, and I don't. We obviously don't know why or how he missed weight, um, but either way, Romulus is in a pretty backed up position. Chang Ho Lee, the favorite in this fight. How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I brought this fight up earlier when I was talking about making fighters making their debut, right? Because Cortavious, he was one of those guys I'm pretty sure was favored against Gaston Bolaños his last fight, and yes, he was a minus 225. And I looked at the odds. I said, I don't know how he's a minus 200 against Gaston, who's a really good striker. And a lot of people rate Cortavious really high, but I look at him as a really good athlete who just still has a lot to work on. I mean, I'm sure you saw the Ramon Tavares fight, which he was also
Yeah,
favored in. He he got knocked out pretty, and that was one of the fights where a lot of people had him in parlays and just rate him really high, and he just didn't come and perform. And it's just hard to trust this guy. And I mean, I could say the same for Holy as well. I mean, this is one of the guys where you're not really fighting anybody of note, and you're coming off road to UFC. And I'm one of those people that, all due respect to people that are coming off road to UFC, but the talent just isn't that good in my opinion. So
right.
I I'm splitting hairs here because I can argue for both sides, and I might I see a lot of potential in Lee, but part of me wants to go with the Cortavious side, especially even with the weight miss. He he missed weight, so that could play to his advantage tomorrow night.
Absolutely, and about 75% of people who have missed weight right now this year has actually gotten the victory. And
So, yep.
there's been a good people already, so I understand where you're coming from. With how awkward Romulus is, I'm just not sure. And I mean, yeah, Chang Ho Lee, he's not really I'm not too confident in him either. I don't think I'd make a play for this one. But I'm probably just gonna I'm probably just gonna say Changho Lee by decision. I mean, obviously, I'm not doing anything for that, but if anyone else is, I mean, that's a plus 310. Oh wait, no, that's Romulus.
Yeah.
My bad. That's a plus 145. But still, pretty good for Romulus as well. Who we know he obviously has the power. We've seen his best knockout. Obviously, that spinning heel kick was just deadly. That was some Mortal Kombat shit right there.
Yep.
Um, but obviously, I think Romulus's best way to win, probably knockout or decision. I don't see a submission. And Chang Ho Lee, his best chance, probably by decision. I'm just gonna say Chang Ho Lee. I'm not doing any special pick for this one or anything.
Yeah, and that's a really fair pick too. And it's crazy because Romulus is actually a St. Louis guy, and he reminds me a lot of kind of a Buckley, the way he moves and bounces around. Just
Yeah,
his stocky build remind me a lot of Buckley. I don't know why, but I think if he just this fight, the last fight did go his way. Obviously, the next fight he worked on what he needed to work on technique wise, and comes into this fight with a better game plan. I could definitely see him coming through. And looking at the odds, I'm pretty sure he's a slight underdog, plus 110. Yep. So
yep.
that might be another underdog I might add to the slip.
It'll be interesting, man. It'll definitely be interesting. Co-main event right here, featherweight bout. We were talking about it. Joanderson Brito taking on Pat Sabatini, and we both feel like this is going to be a 100% finish guaranteed. Either Brito by knockout or Sabatini by submission. There's a few people who I've been talking to on the side of Pat Sabatini who say that he is in the best shape physically and mentally in his entire life right now. And Joe Anderson Brito, I feel like he's very pissed off about that loss to Lapalus, I believe it was. Um, so no, it was William Gomez. See, now they're both French, so I got
Yeah,
that
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
it was close. It was close.
yeah, I guess, but that's my casual side really showing. But Joe Anderson Brito, obviously, pretty pissed off about that controversial loss to Gomez. So it's gonna be interesting right here, man. But I mean, as you could see with the line going on right now, Joe Anderson Brito to win by knockout. That is plus 110. And I think that actually changed. I think that was at 120 a little bit ago. Um, but nonetheless, I mean, that's a plus 110 for something that's very guaranteed against a medium heavy favorite. I think honestly, I'm going to go for that.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go Brito by KO.
Yep.
And to defend the Sabatini side, the dude when you're betting against Pat Sabatini, it's a tough thing to watch because when this dude gets your back or he takes you down, is I mean he drowns you, and it's a lot like these Philly guys, the Pifers, the Sean Brady's, uh the Andres. A lot of them are just they're built differently in their stature, so and they seem really strong the way like they grab you. So I could see him. I see a way of him getting maybe a decision. I don't know if he could sub Brito, but on the Brito side, I think if Brito just minds his p's and q's and doesn't get taken down and doesn't let Sabatini get on his back. I don't think Sabatini's striking is that good. I think we've seen that time and time again, especially the Damon Jackson fight. So I could definitely see a way where I think Brito is just really good. I'll go back to that Andre Fili fight where I mean, he looks really good when he's on. He's on. So I'm gonna go Brito probably by a round. I can see early knockout. I don't see this fight going deep. So if you're gambling, maybe take a shot at the under 2.5. I'm not sure the odds on it, but I will go maybe under 2.5 or Brito by KO. I think those are both good looks.
Yeah, man, and that's not really it's not bad. It's really not bad at all for what it is. Let me see. It'd be round props, wouldn't it? Um no, let me see. To start, I ain't got no clue, to be honest.
Yeah, you might be able to go to the maybe the lines maybe might get you.
I ain't got no clue, but let
Oh
me
yeah,
see.
there we
Yeah,
go.
right.
There we go right there. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. So Brito right here.
Okay, so it's at 1.5. So that's tougher, but I still like it if it's a fast start maybe, and Sabatini front foot forward. I can see the fight in there round one, and if it doesn't, you still have half a round to work with. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, and there is a difference between like Weston Wilson and Pat Sabatini, but I mean Brito
Yeah,
does have that experience against these grapplers who are obviously trying to grapple. Of course, Jack Shore, he beat the hell out of his leg. Pierce, who is very underrated and mixes it up a lot. I mean, he won that by submission. Of course, the fight with Weston Wilson, poor Wilson, honestly. Um,
yeah,
I mean, Brito, yeah, I mean, Algio was like one of the grapplers that beat him. But I mean, Algio's he's well rounded as well. And that was back in, that's been for years since then. It's an interesting fight. I cannot wait for it. And I do think Brito gets it done by finish. And you think so as well.
yes, I agree. And even his last fight, I know it's a loss, but if we go back and just look at that William Gummy fight, it was a really close fight. I think I might have scored it for Brito. And the thing with people like I feel like Pat Sabatini or even I bring up like a Joe Selecki, like the game plans are pretty straightforward. Or even on this card, Gerald Meerschaert, we all know like they might throw some punches, but at the end of the day, they're trying to go for that submission, which they
Yep.
should. They're all really good grapplers. So I think Brito just like I said, stay at a distance. Don't engage too much in the grappling with but Sabatini, I could see him putting him away really early.
Exactly. And that was Jamal Emmers's mistake when they fought in 2021. So it'll be interesting to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, these guys, especially the Philly guys like Sabatini, Pfeiffer, Brady, they compete at cage fury a lot when it comes to the grappling. So they're pretty legit when it comes to grappling, especially in MMA.
Main event right here, my friend. And these odds, man, they really do shock me. You got the number 8, Josh Emmett, who has been there, done that, has done many great fangs. The king of cracking brains and jaws as well. Josh Emmett, really just the human highlight reel right here. He takes on Lerone, the Miracle Murphy, who is 15-0 with one draw. He's been on a tear, and his last fight, of course, against Dan Ige, and before that, Edson Barbosa. So he's been there against the strikers, man. But the only difference is that this is 5 rounds, and you're taking on Josh Emmett of all people. So honestly, for me, I honestly think Emmett gets this done by knockout, and it's in a way a long shot. But I mean, Murphy, I like Murphy, but he hasn't impressed me like that.
Yeah,
The Dan Ige fight, he got caught. The Barbosa fight, I mean, he got caught with like an up kick and stuff. He's reckless, honestly. He did great in the Culibao fight. The Santos fight really shocked me. And Santos had a really good bit of success. So that's probably something to really look forward to. But I mean, overall, Lerone has really outstruck a lot of these strikers. Of course, Ricardo Ramos right here, Tamir Tukulgov, Silva de Andrade, who really, I love Silva de Andrade a lot. Um, he has done some really good things, and even against Makwan Mirkani, he was getting out grappled, and then he landed that flush knee, which was just picture perfect. Josh Emmett also has that wrestling background experience, and if he has to, he will mix it up into the wrestling side. How are you feeling about this fight, man? Because I got Josh Emmett by finish. I got him by knockout.
Yeah, man. So I'm not mad at it, right? Because Josh Emmett, Sacramento guy. I'm out here in NorCal, so I'm
Yeah.
always a fan of Josh Emmett when he fights. And you brought it up just now. You look at Lerone Murphy's fights, the Dan Ige fight, the Barbosa's fight. There's a lot of fights where he's getting hurt really bad, and you look at Josh Emmett's power. It's I mean it's a different level. He's putting dudes out. We saw with the Bryce Mitchell fight. I think the perfect game plan was him just picking Josh Emmett apart, not really get into brawls with Josh Emmett because that's not smart at all. But
Oh,
Josh,
obviously.
yeah, with a guy like that, he's gonna put you out every time. But maybe chip away at the legs a little bit because I don't see Josh Emmett going for takedowns in this fight much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think him maybe chopping the legs, going towards the body, just weaken that lower body, so maybe shots up top can come more open more. I think I could see a Lerone Murphy decision. Maybe I don't know the odds on it, but Josh Emmett KO is also a good look because 25
Exactly.
minutes is a long time in there with Josh Emmett. And a lot of people bring up maybe his last couple fights, but I mean, the dude fought Ilya Taporia to a decision, so we can't really question his toughness. And the dude, I mean, he has heart, and he's gonna go for it, especially when he knows when his corner tells him maybe you're down 2 rounds, you need to finish. So Josh and Emmett by KO is a good look. I like it, but I'm leaning more towards maybe a Lerone Murphy decision in this one.
Yeah, and that's honestly really fair, man. I mean, obviously the odds for that's actually the only minus for those odds. It's a minus 110 to have Lerone Murphy by decision. And I mean, for me, with how I've seen Lerone Murphy, I mean, obviously the I feel like his best way of winning this fight would be decision. I feel like
Yep.
he could pick apart Josh Emmett with the body kicks. Honestly, Josh Emmett has had a lot of problems with body kicks, but Murphy cannot just primarily box in this fight. He's going to have to throw a good bit of kicks, man, and I feel like he will do good um, in this fight. But you know, with Josh Emmett fangs, he just always finds a way somehow, some way, some form, and I mean, obviously, you know, 250 as an underdog with what we know Josh Emmett could do just seems pretty outrageous to me. Um, and let me see here. Winning method of victory. Yeah, right here. The knockouts, man. It's just so tempting to put this on the parlay. Plus 450 to have a knockout TKO or even a rare DQ. Um, But I mean, it's a tough fight. I do feel like it's either Josh Emmett by finish or decision against Lerone Murphy, who I would say decision as well for Murphy would be his best chance of winning. Um, it's just interesting. It's going to be an awesome fight to see, man. And honestly, with all this Magomed Sharipov talk going around, I mean, him considering coming back, I feel like the winner of that should probably fight Magomed Sharipov if he does actually come back.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. I mean, it's crazy, right? Because Lerone Murphy wins. I don't see him getting boosted up to a title shot just because of the circumstances.
Yeah,
I could definitely because with Josh Emmett, what is Josh Emmett at right now? He's
eight.
number 8. Okay, yeah. So I could see it maybe after this, maybe one more contenders fight up. So he could fight the loser of Volk Lopez or just somebody top 5 at featherweight. But I can see this fight's gonna be really good. Um, I know a lot of the Apex main events maybe aren't that fun, but this is gonna be entertaining because it's a Josh Emmett fight, man. He's gonna go after it, and he could give a vet lesson. I mean, we saw it this year already with Cannonier and Rodriguez. Rodriguez was a high
Yeah,
favorite, and Cannonier showed him and came through as an underdog. So I mean, this could be another example of maybe pushing the prospect up a little too quick, and yeah, Josh Emmett is no easy task for nobody. So it's gonna be a fun fight.
Yeah, man. So you got Lerone Murphy by decision. I got Josh
Yep.
Emmett by knockout. So we're a little bit split on that. We're split on a few ones. But overall, man, just a really good card. And honestly, I wanted to actually try something new because I was actually thinking like, okay, what would be the best picks if I decided to do like a free leg parlay? And I thought about it for a bit because I mean, this is kind of make or break. This is good, but at the same time, it's a little bit risky. But I'm thinking Brito by knockout,
Yep.
Victor Henry, of course, by unanimous decision or just decision in general, which is a minus 135, obviously. And then, of course, the one that is make or break, Josh Emmett by knockout. That's a plus 1910. And I mean, just putting 15 on it, you can get $300.
Hey man, it's not a bad play at all, and I like it, especially because it gives you maybe a hedge out spot later on if you do get the Victor Henry by decision and maybe the Brito by KO.
Yeah.
You can maybe hedge that bet later on if you want to with some Murphy by decision, because I can only see that fight going two ways. If Murphy wins, it'll be by decision. If Emmett wins, maybe by KO. He could win a decision, but I don't really see it happening. So I'm not mad that parlay at all, especially if you just want to do a little sprinkle, something fun. So yeah, that's not a bad one.
Yeah, man. And I was thinking here, do I want to go overboard a little bit? Because, I mean, McKee. Fucking McKee. I mean, I'm pretty confident on McKee to win by decision here. Um, and I mean, just adding that's a 9,550. $15 for just that would go up to almost 1,500, which is pretty fucking cool. It's a little
Y-
insane.
You're even because that fight could go a lot of different ways. Even a fight like Demopolis and Alencar. I know that fight, the odds might not be as juicy, but if you take Demopolis by decision, or or even like a Loma by decision, that won't be as bad either.
Right. I know there was something outrageous here but on the finish category that I wanted to see here. Let me see. It was like oh yeah, it was the Osbourne. It was fucking
Yeah,
Osbourne. Yeah.
yeah,
Where are you, Osbourne? Right here. Plus 450. Alex Zam, 10,000 right there
yeah.
for
So that
four right
itself,
there. Fucking hell.
man, and even for people gambling out there, even taking each of those, you put a little sprinkle on each of those and just enjoy the card. You could end up having a good night.
Exactly. And I mean, if you're a working man, $15 is only $15 or $10 is only $10. I mean, and I mean, even then, you can't even be mad about it because I mean, you do something like this: Brito by knockout, Henry by decision, Emmett by knockout, and Ode Osbourne to get some sort of finish in that fight. I mean, just put like $10 on it, you can make it 1,000, just like that. That's what's insane about it, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, I might have to try it. It's a little outrageous, but I might have to try it.
hey man, it's fun, especially when you're just enjoying the card. And you just have something out there. I mean, like
Yeah.
we talked about earlier, I'm big on just I don't bet much, but I like betting just single bets and just have them scattered throughout the card and just thinking about each fight and just having a good time.
Exactly. And I know you don't do too many slips, but do you want to try and make your own here? I don't know if your picks are really official yet, but what are you thinking, man,
Yes,
for a slip?
I haven't gone any official bets, but I definitely tell you my favorite props. So we can go the Mappas by decision. That'd be the first one. Let's see, what's another good one? Trying to just let's go. We'll go Murphy by decision.
Okay.
And let's go one more. Try and make them a little bit different. And let's go. Let's go Barbosa by sub.
Barbosa by sub
Yep.
right here.
And the odds definitely aren't as good as the one you made, but
Right.
that's another. Yeah, that's another one where I like it, and if you take those, you might get some luck.
Yeah, well, like I said, man, I'm kind of balls to the wall on, shit like that. But
Man, I love it too. Those are ones where you see a hit and you just go crazy.
oh yeah, exactly. But honestly, man, I mean, Belbita, fucking Belbita, man, is tempting me too. But I don't want to make no 5 leg parlay. I might have to make that a single or something.
Yeah, man, just take that Belbita one. If you like it, just take that one as a single and just watch that fight play out.
Yeah, exactly. You can make 15 turn into 165, and that's still really good. Now on a parlay, it would be even more wild. So let
Yeah.
me let me just do like this. Let me put Victor Henry back on there. Brito. I mean, that's still a little bit wild, but still kind of good. $10 would make 400. Then you add fucking Josh Emmett and Jesus fucking Christ, look at that, 22,000 to the plus. ten
Hey, man,
dollars to make
it's
2,000.
MMA. Nothing's impossible in the sport. I think we've seen
Exactly.
that by now. So
It
I
is the
always tell
sport of the
everybody,
unexpected.
yeah, I tell everybody gambling in MMA, just trust your gut, and then a lot of things might work out for you.
Exactly. And for anybody out there right now, I mean, if you want a safe play, you obviously need to get Victor Henry by decision. And Brito by knockout is really not bad at all. I would say you probably want to try and go for that. Um, and maybe there's one more, maybe someone by a finish or something. I would say Vanessa Demopoulos by decision is also pretty good. This is a pretty good safe free leg play, and it's only plus 740. But I mean, put $10 on that, you can make that $84. And I mean, 15 would be 126. And if you are kind of balls to the wall about it, I mean, put 100 on there, you can make 800, $840, and that's a pretty safe play, honestly.
Hey, man, like they say, if you're feeling froggy, jump. So what however much you want to sweat for this Apex card, I'm more than willing to let you.
Absolutely, man. Well, honestly, it's just going to be a great event in general, man. Cannot wait for it. I'm honestly very excited for a lot of fights on the card. And if I did have to pick my favorite, man, I don't know why, but this just it intrigues me so much to see these two veterans go at it, Brad Tavares and Gerald Meerschaert. Cannot wait for that. And honestly, I do feel like Buday, Osbourne, and Louis Gurule is a sleeper. It is a sleeper fight right here.
For sure, I agree. So when it comes to favorite fights, I'm gonna have to go with Brito and Sabatini, just because these are two guys that I've rated so high in the past, watching them come up both from contenders series. So I'm gonna go with that. My favorite fight. Obviously, some sleepers you brought up as well. The Ode Osbourne Louis Gurule fight. That's not gonna be boring. So I recommend
No.
everybody watching that. Stay in your seat because it's gonna be a good fight. And even with the women's fights, the Loma Lookboonmee fight, I know the
Yeah.
odds are crazy, but trust me, if you just want to see some solid striking, Loma Lookboonmee's she's a really good fighter, and I'm sure Nunes coming off this layoff in the losing streak, she's gonna have to bring her A game, or she might not have a job this Monday. So yeah, there's a lot of good fights on this card, man.
Exactly, man. Well, I'm glad to have you here to talk about these fights, man. And I think this is a pretty good way to wrap it up. I got to check here because we've been at it for almost an hour and a half now talking about this and our some betting parlays and tips. Honestly, we're obviously not the best at it, but I mean, fuck,
Yeah.
it is fun to do something like this with you, man. It really is. So again, man, I'd have to thank you for being on here, man. It's always great to talk to you.
Oh no, man. Thank you. I mean, anytime you want to have me on, I know we always text back and forth about the fights, but always reach out, man. I love coming on here. Like you said, we're not pro gamblers, we're not pro pickers. We're just two dudes that love watching MMA and watching this violence. I love
Yep.
every time you post your head kicks, man. I got to tune in. So I mean, one thing I can guarantee, I know everybody's not a fan of the Apex, but it's another weekend we have fights and we get to watch violence for 8 hours or however long it is every weekend. So hey, if you're gambling like I am tomorrow, good luck. Hope you guys make some money and yeah, hopefully we see a great main event tomorrow night.
Absolutely. I'm hoping for the best as well. And honestly, give this guy a fucking follow, y'all. I mean, he's about to get to 1,000 subscribers. He's always good. Uh, just loves the sport. We both love the sport, and he's just an awesome guy to talk to, awesome guy to hang out with. So please go give TMZ MMA a follow on both Instagram and Twitter as well. And I'm not sure if you have a YouTube as well, man.
No, not yet. Hopefully we can get that going soon. I appreciate it a lot. I hope you guys give Marks a follow too, because if you don't, you're missing out on good content. I don't post my best slips as much anymore. I need to get back to it. But if you guys want to argue MMA or just talk fights or anything, go ahead, just follow me, send a message. We can talk about any fight you want to. So definitely, I'm always happy to come on, and we gotta do this more often for sure.
Hell yeah, man. I would love to keep doing this weekly or at least bi-weekly. And here's also my channel, folks, in case you do want to give me a follow as well. That is at the MMA 8ball underscore on Twitter, or just look up the MMA mark and you'll see this beautiful face of Robbie Lawlers on your screen in no time. But again, give TMZ MMA a follow, man. He's absolutely incredible. And I think this is a good way to wrap it up, man. So, do you have anything else to say to the viewers?
Hey, nothing else but MMA Mark has top five best profile picture on Twitter. That's an awesome one right there. So yeah, no, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in and see you guys next time for sure.
Absolutely, man. Always good to talk to you. And that is it for the breakdown of this card. It has been an hour and a half since we were talking about this, and this is a very good way to end it off. So, thank you guys so much. Uh, please give TMZ MMA a follow as well as me, and subscribe to the channel, man, for more content for mixed martial arts. Obviously, I try to post at least one video every week. So yeah, just show us some love, man, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Peace.